Corbet's Corner here on a Tuesday. We are back and let's talk some NFL. I don't think I have ever been so frustrated watching just a Monday night football game. Big Ben's last game, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. I don't know why I was spoiling the party last night. The line movement was crazy. It's tough. My NFL record speaks for itself with how bad it is, how tough it is betting the NFL. But that is the one sport where I think the public does have a knack for betting it. Sometimes it's the obvious winner. Look, Kevin Stefanski, run the fucking football. What are you doing? I couldn't believe my eyes. You're averaging 2 carries to get a first down. That's how good you have with Nick Chubb in the backfield. And you chose to just throw it over and over. TJ Watt, when he wasn't sacking Baker Mayfield for 4 times, he was gladly just standing there watching Baker and just putting his hands up and batting the ball down. Baker was terrible. I don't know what to make of it because he's so injured. I think he cost himself millions of dollars by playing through this injury because he looks like he can't play football. He looks like he can't see over his own offensive line. And if he does get it over, then he's blocked by TJ Watt and anyone just standing there doing anything. Big Ben averaged 2.7 yards per attempt in the saddest excuse for a win ever. But hey, you won. He gets to go out a winner at home. It was kind of bittersweet. He had tears in his eyes. I mean, look, Big Ben's got a checkered past. He's not the greatest guy out there, right? If you do some digging, the whole motorcycle incident, the whole locking himself in a bathroom with some woman, against her wishes. I wasn't rooting for the guy, but hey, it was hard not to be bittersweet. That dude's a champion, 2-time champion. He didn't really do much. Doesn't have a Super Bowl MVP. He's kind of like Eli Manning, right? But he's got the rings. And look, that's a part of our childhood. It's still crazy that Tom Brady is still a member of the National Football League and is going to keep going and competing for championships while Big Ben, who came into the league well after Tom Brady, looks like a corpse throwing not even 3 yards down the field. But Najee Harris, I said he wasn't having a good year. He goes to bleep off last night. Mike Tomlin's one of the greatest coaches ever. I mean, speaking of part of my childhood, I've watched that guy take over. Bill Cowher on the Manning cast last night. Awesome watching those guys just watch football. He was the best guest. He was the only guy that actually didn't have AirPods, right? Actually had a microphone, came set up at great audio quality. The Manning cast is like crack for me. I can't look away, but it is so bad. Like their timing. How have they not? They've gotten worse on their timing throughout the course of the season, but it's just cool. It's cool watching the game with Peyton and Eli, feeling like you're there. Snoop Dogg was high as a kite. It was so smoky in his studio where he was recording. I don't know. He had to have just been taking hits off screen. You got Rodgers, drinking bourbon live on cable television. It's bizarre. I can't look away, but it is so cringy when they all are just talking over each other. Peyton gets so frustrated. I love it. The Manning cast is crazy. I feel so bad for Steve Levy. Has to promote it. The commissioner of the sport you call the premier game on ESPN is going on the other cast. Goodell was such a loser. God, he is just so unlikable and awkward. It was a cool night, except for the fact that I was totally wrong with thinking the Browns weren't fools for just. It was the most ridiculous game plan, like utter like. Stefanski should be tarred and feathered for how he didn't figure out to. Do you still do that? Am I going to cancel for saying that? For what he did, he couldn't figure out to run the damn ball, and you would cruise to a victory there. I was so frustrated. Let's talk NFL playoffs. We've got the unprecedented week 18 coming up, kind of some games that matter, some that don't, right? I still like the Bills. I think it'll be them and the Chiefs, not unlike last year. Does Derrick Henry returning, which is rumored to be in the works, make the Titans a threat? Look, they're going to get healthy with that bye if they secure the 1 seed, and why wouldn't they? They've got Houston in the final week. Julio Jones, I knocked the production. The Falcons, I think, actually won that trade, but that's a dude that you could throw up there and make a big catch in the playoffs. He's made big catches in Super Bowls like that. They're getting healthy at the right time. They beat their COVID outbreak early in the season. They've got that out of the way. Maybe I'm not giving the Titans enough credit, the team that's been there, competing the last 2 seasons and make it a third. I think the Chiefs are going to take out the Bengals. Bengals are one of the funnest teams to watch, but it's very hard to beat a team twice. You get a last second win. Chiefs, I mean, what were they doing? Just let them score. Let them score. and you don't get the field goal, a chip shot as time expires, I think the Chiefs would take them out if they fought again, because it would be at their place this time, theoretically. Hell, I think the Bengals could even get clipped by the Colts. I think the Colts are a scary team. I know they just laid an egg against the Raiders. Raiders are okay. Carson Wentz, I was saying, he's had a really solid year. He's held on to the football. 6 picks. That's like 4th best in the NFL. He's got a good touchdown to interception ratio. The yards per attempt aren't great. The yards aren't great. But he's doing it with a good backfield and, decent weapons, an older T.Y. Hilton. Michael Pittman's certainly good. I think the Colts could clip the Titans. Like, Tannehill has taken a step back. Now, it's been without Derrick Henry, that forced standing behind him. It's been a disaster for Tannehill without him, but you put Henry back there. And again, Tannehill just needs to be a game manager. Mike Vrabel actually knows, hey, we run the football when we've got a monster back there, like the Browns do with Nick Chubb, but Stefanski could have fucking figured it out. Hard not to like, geez, I'm stumbling everywhere. Hard not like, let's try this one more time. Hard not to like the Chiefs again. I mean, why not? The defense is playing well. I know they laid an egg in this last one, but they've got some good performances this year. Patrick Mahomes is always dangerous. Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, they've got weapons. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is healthy. Does Nashville home field give them an advantage at all this time around? If the Titans get clipped, then the Chiefs are the guys that it'll run through for the AFC as the 2 seed, theoretically, if that holds suit. It's going to be a tough game regardless if the Chiefs come to your place. I think it's Chiefs-Bills. Bills have shot themselves in the foot by, I think they're going to beat the Patriots if they host it in Buffalo too. I know Bill Belichick's a legend, but, Josh Allen has been here for a couple of years now. McDermott has as well. And it's going to be at Buffalo. I think I would trust Josh Allen over a rookie quarterback, even though Mac Jones has been sensational. But the Bills are tough as a 4 seed. If the Colts win, and all of a sudden the Bills have to go to Kansas City, right? So that's going to be tough because it's hard not to like the Chiefs in that game. Buffalo went to Kansas City, won. Hard to beat a team twice if you go to Kansas City twice too. So again, the Chiefs, Stephen A. declared them done after week 4. I might have been even saying the same thing. They looked pretty bad. They looked like a shell of themselves, and they just clicked, and they're the Chiefs again. They could have easily won that game in Cincinnati as well. I think that you throw that out as a great game we got to watch, just a great 2 teams battling. But if those 2 teams played again, if they played 3 times, I think the Chiefs are still the better team, even though Joe Burrow is now 3rd in the MVP in terms of odds. It's like Rodgers minus 500, Brady, which I think is more of a coin flip for Brady and Rodgers. You could get Brady at like plus 500. Otherwise, Rodgers repeats, and then Joe Burrow is kind of like 12-1 sneaking up there, but he's had a hell of a year. It's been incredible. Let's see here. Let's go to the NFC. Green Bay hosted last year. I mean, I like Green. I think it's going to be mostly chalk, except I think Matt Stafford's looking a lot more like Matt Stafford with the picks. He has more pick sixes than Rodgers has in interceptions this year. He's looked a little bit like the old Matt Stafford, making some bad decisions there. So I think the Bucks could take care of them. I think it's going to go mostly chalk. Bucks take out the Rams, Packers, then are going to host the Bucks again for the 2nd year in a row. It's the 3rd time the charm. They were in the conference title game 2 years ago at San Fran when they ended up losing. But who knows? Maybe it's 3rd time's the charm, and maybe it's Packers Bills this year, right? Maybe the Bills, after losing the AFC title game last year to the Chiefs, get it done in Kansas City again, and they move on. For the Bucks, no AB, no problem. They're pretty banged up, but again, it's Brady in the playoffs, and he just went to Lambeau last year and did it. Why can't he do it again? I like Bucks and the Packers, and who knows? I kind of I don't know if these are sucker bets, but you've got that possible Super Bowl matchup bets for like great odds. I put, a flyer on Packers versus the Bills and the Chiefs, and then Bucks versus Bills Chiefs. See if I hit one of those and maybe cash in. Nobody is scared of the Eagles or Nick Sirianni. I'm sorry. You're done playing the Washington football team and the Giants, getting hot at the right time. No one's scared of Jimmy G or Kyle Shanahan. Nope. Sorry. I think, as I said, NFC goes chalk in the divisional round, and Stafford, the pick sixes, he fell way off the MVP race, and now his season looks meh rather than incredible, which was what it was. OBJ hasn't played a playoff game since the boat, right? Where he's, getting high and lit on the boat before the Giants playoff game, and they lay a total egg. He hasn't been back since. He was injured last year when the Browns won a playoff game and then lost to Kansas City. So is the OBJ curse still in effect there in the playoffs, even though he is racking up touchdowns, but not really. They're still forcing it to him. And then Stafford he's looked worse, but noticeably worse since he's been trying to throw to OBJ, throwing more interceptions. Like, it looks like the offense is just discombobulated. And again, like it's weird for the Chargers. Chargers aren't going to get home field, but the Rams, how good is that home field advantage in LA, right? You would think for a playoff game, you're going to get the historic, it's all transplants out there, right? People who moved. So yeah, again, that's some NFL playoff thoughts. Again, things could change here in the last week, but there's only a couple of games that could really do so. So the unprecedented week 18 coming up in the NFL, just some season-ending thoughts. Mike Zimmer should be fired. I think that's coming. I think it's obvious. Are they going to beat the Bears last home game this year? Last game of the year? Is it Zimmer's last game? I thought he should have been fired years ago, but we'll see. Joe Judge, what a buffoon. He should be fired. Dave Gettleman, speaking of buffoons, they should be gone. Giants are a disaster. Elway has left the Broncos in shambles. Drew Lock, yikes. That was another, good Paxton Lynch and Drew Lock. Nice work, John. You were a great quarterback, but you can't pick one out for the life of you. My God. Well, he's gone, right? They kicked him upstairs and out, and he's just left him with Vic Fangio, a guy who just loves to kick field goals. And I mean, the season was a lot like the Falcons. You knew they were bad. You didn't have any expectations. And then they kind of were like, hey, you'll take 7-9. They had a plus point differential. They had some good wins. They had some bad losses. Falcons the same. Like, are you hopeful for the next year? Falcons, I'm hopeful. We'll get to that in just a second. But Fangio, again, the new GM is not – Fangio's not his guy. He's he's in his upper 60s. He's a defensive guy. I don't know. I think the writing's on the wall for Fangio, even though they had a surprising year. Are they finally going quarterback again? And can they finally find a guy that can pick one? Is Rodgers going to stay in Green Bay, or is he on the move? Is Matt Ryan on the move? Let's talk the Atlanta Falcons here. Well, I might have a pivotal time in my NFL fandom. I'm solely a Falcons fan because of my allegiance to Boston College and Matt Ryan. Is he on the move? I actually think Arthur Smith believes in Matt Ryan. Look, they had a surprising year, 7-9. They've got the chance here to spoil the Saints party at home. I actually think the Saints are going to win that game, but who knows? This team's, who is Matt Ryan throwing to? He's had a Matt Ryan year. He's been fine, but he's thrown to no one. Calvin Ridley, I totally respect your privacy and what you may be going through, but where are you? What's your plan? Are you coming back next year? Do we have to pick a receiver, sign a receiver? I mean, that was a total wrench in what could have been a surprise playoff year in a weak NFC. Look, Arthur Smith, why would he get Kyle Pitts if he doesn't think that there's still something there with Matt Ryan? Do we get an offensive line guy to shore that up, that mess in the first round this year? Options are open. I think Matt Ryan could very well stay in Atlanta, although, more Atlanta fans, right? The diehard Falcons guys are probably a little bit sick of Matt Ryan. I'll never be sick of Matt Ryan. I hope he plays until Phil Jurkovec, BC's quarterback, goes to the NFL, and then we'll see where he ends up. It would be cool if Phil Jurkovec ended up replacing Matt Ryan. In fact, that's what I'm rooting for. I hope Matt Ryan next year, right? He gets one more year and then the Falcons could draft Jurkovec and I could stay a Falcons fan because damn, I've been supporting this team with blood, sweat, and tears for almost a dozen years now, 13. So it's going to be weird. But if Matt Ryan ends up being with the Steelers next year, which, he's a Pennsylvania guy, that could happen. Does he go to the Eagles? Does he go to Cleveland? It's interesting. And, I'm going to have to support my boy, Matt Ryan. So it's interesting. I'm interested to see what the offseason brings for the Falcons. Could always use defense. AJ Terrell's a stud. That dude's an animal. He's going to be one of the best shutdown corners in the game. Maybe we get some linebackers and that defense turns around. Matt Ryan has some weapons, and Kyle Pitts, look, he was great. Yardage wise, incredible. One of the best tight ends ever, one of the best weapons ever. So, hey, we'll see what the Falcons could do. I always love spoiling Sean Payton, who I hate, and the Saints, who I probably dislike the most as my Falcons fandom. But yeah, I mean, this is I'm a Falcons fan. I didn't celebrate the Braves. I'm a Falcons fan because of Matt Ryan. I'm not an Atlanta guy. I didn't get the Braves championship. Is Georgia going to get a championship? That's me. I bleed, Falcon black and red. I hope there's still a Super Bowl run left in Matt Ryan and the Falcons together, but we'll see. Speaking of Georgia, I think it's them on Monday. I've been all over Bama. I was on Bama in the SEC championship. Very hard to beat a team twice. I say that in the NFL. These are two NFL teams, right? Bama and Georgia. We knew it was always them. I've been saying since I think week 4 in the college football season, we were going to get Georgia, Bama a rematch. Here we are. Georgia getting some sharp money there. So -3 for Georgia. That is interesting indeed. The college football transfer portal has been insane this year. It's the Wild West. It's crazy. You got Dylan Gabriel transferring to UCLA and then flipping his transfer. He's going to Oklahoma. Why? Because Caleb Williams is now available. Where's now Caleb Williams might be going to UCLA, which Dylan Gabriel just spurned. Quinn Ewers, this dude leaving OSU, going to Texas, and Steve Sarkisian. Is he going to start? Jahmyr Gibbs, the best running back from Georgia Tech, he's headed to Bama, as if they didn't already need Bama, right? More the rich get richer. Eli Ricks, the best cornerback in the transfer portal, going to Bama. Spencer Rattler leaving Oklahoma. He's going to South Carolina. That's a story. That's going to be awesome to see South Carolina after an impressive year under Shane Beamer. Max Johnson, the LSU forgotten to A&M. Keaton Slovis from USC to Pittsburgh. He'll take over for Kenny Pickett. That scares me for Boston College. Pittsburgh's going to pick up right where they left off. How about Mizzou's Connor Bazelak? Where's he going? Bo Nix from Auburn to Oregon. Zach Calzada from A&M. Where's he going? Michael Penix Jr. after a huge disappointing year for Indiana. He bolts. He's heading to Washington. How about Adrian Martinez, Nebraska legend, right? He's going to Kansas State. I actually like that for Kansas State. I think, man, for Adrian Martinez, maybe he does something there and shows that it wasn't his fault at Nebraska for a lack of success. Hey, how about Wisconsin hoops? Maybe Purdue might have been a little bit overrated as they drop 2 of their first 3 Big Ten games. The Big Ten's wide open, but Wisconsin, 100-1, my future preseason from them. Yeah, you can only get them at 30-1 now. So hopefully some hedging opportunities there. I just placed another bet because I love Christian Verde's LSU squad. How about this? Will Wade, 40-1. I think LSU is going to be a scary team come March. They're not getting the love they deserve in the SEC, a talented SEC, but that's a talented team, plays defense. I like LSU. I took them. Hopefully get some hedging opportunities in the bracket. Okay, Bulls fans, I could not have been more wrong about a team. I find myself rooting for you guys. You guys are fun to watch. DeRozan, holy crap, everyone was wrong on him. Where did this come from? Now, is he notoriously going to fall off in the playoffs again like he did with Toronto? I hope not. I'm waving the white flag, Bulls fans. You guys are a top team in the East. It's incredible. Hopefully you're not the Utah Jazz, like a regular season darling like that, but unbelievable. DeRozan, I didn't think he could shoot threes. He knocks down back-to-back tough from down, not tie games, game winners from down points. He turned them into wins in back-to-back nights. It was the most incredible thing I've seen. Cheers to you, Bulls fans. Enjoy this. You guys have been waiting for so long. You got teased with D Rose. Sorry it was a Debbie Downer. I might be seeing red. How about that? Corbet's Corner, we got winging it back in the new year. Happy New Year. We got some cool stuff coming up and some announcements on the way, so keep it locked. Follow all our social media, YouTube. Obviously, subscribe to us if you enjoy listening. Wherever you enjoy us, we appreciate you, the listener, the audience, and we'll talk to you later this week.